Welcome back, men. It's Chase Gick here with Divorce to Dominance. So I'd watched back my last video a few times because I know originally I talked about I wanted this to be a resource for people, men specifically that have gone through divorce or have, are in the process of that, to try to help them understand the emotional the emotional heaviness of it, and to try to traverse that in a better way. Because when I was going through mine, there was nothing. I would find myself looking on YouTube. I would find myself looking for podcasts, and there was a lot of the typical, you know, kind of man side of things where, oh, you just got to do this and you just got to do that. That's not what I'm a part of. I don't subscribe to any of that. I don't do any of that. It's something that we all have our own beliefs, and it works out well for other people, and that's great. My main thing was I just needed something that was applicable to be able to help me step by step get through this in a very functional manner, because I was admittedly not functioning well through that process, and I fumbled through a lot of it, found a lot of good people along the way, found a lot of not so good people along the way. People that took advantage, others that didn't, others that truly wanted to help and did help, which is great. And like I said, I just want to make sure I've got a path here that makes sense from beginning to end, and something that you can look at daily and hopefully rewatch and just kind of recenter yourself in this journey as a man through these, through these different stages of divorce. And they hit you at different times. I'm just trying to build this from a sense of like what helped the most. Not only beginning, middle, and end, and what continues to help me the most moving forward. And so from there, like I said, I was watching the last video, and I kind of just was talking about my personal situation, just kind of talking about the mindset, as a whole, and just kind of how that was the first step, and that is the first step, and that's continually my first step every day. But I really didn't hit on tactical points, and that's kind of what I want to do here today. I want to make sure that I'm not just saying the word mindset. Yeah, I used a couple examples of, how I used it to, for certain personal situations. But at the same time, I understand that those situations aren't the same for everybody. So I really just need to break this down in a sense of, what is it that I figured out was, pretty much mandatory for me to understand about my mindset and what was happening, and what did it mean to be able to, head the right direction. And so for that, like, it just kind of came down to, I need to know what I need to believe about my mindset. Like, what do I need to decide daily that is happening here? So I'm taking control of it, because there's just so many different influences out there, man. It's crazy how inundated we are with influences from, obviously social media, technology, advertisements, humans in your life, family, friends, coworkers, all of it is hitting you. Even your clothes, the clothes you pick are just hitting you in certain ways. So, it's just all of it. So I just want to make sure that, I woke up daily and had, a process of what does it mean to function through this time in my life. And like I said, I've jotted some of these down. Hopefully you can use them, and hopefully they're applicable, because I know for me and some of the people that have given me these pieces along the way, that they're powerful. It's something that needs to be repeated, because it can be easily forgotten. Like they say, practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. However anybody wants to word that, it really doesn't matter how you do it. You just got to understand that using them daily, and even multiple times a day, when an instance comes up that it tests you, that it's big. It's very big. It's consistency. And, if you've checked out Twitter or whatnot, I try to post something here and there as I think about it. But, my two biggest things are intent and consistency. I'm having the intent of the day and doing that consistent throughout the day, throughout the weeks, throughout the months, throughout the years. All intent, all consistency. So kind of as a starting point in this whole term mindset, and especially towards men going through or recently gone through divorce and like starting to rebuild yourself in this new path, is just understanding that, like, you being you, like, that's enough. Like, you don't have to be this superstar freak show athlete or or this mega mind that comes up with these insane inventions that are just crazy changing the world. Like, you don't have to be that. You just don't. Like, you get to just be you and understand that that's enough. It's absolutely enough. Like, the average human is enough. You don't need to be just, some unique, super specific human being. Like, you being you. And, actually, now I'm saying that, in a certain way, that is unique. You are unique. But, like, you don't have to have these insane talents that prop you up. Like, just getting around the fact that I'm average, I'm me, and that's a great starting point. Like, that's huge. Like, it's huge. You just need to not see yourself in a deficit. Daily waking up and not seeing yourself being held back. Understanding that where I am right now is more than enough. More than enough. So, like just with that, like, knowing that, in here, that, just understanding that. So that's kind of a part of it right there. What I'm getting at is that knowing that you are enough is a part of, it's something that you've got to break through what's been molded in your life. It's something that, society, maybe by accident, advertisements kind of on purpose, but like your family and stuff, kind of on accident, to be honest, because it's the way they're brought up. But they brought you up in a world potentially, or your surroundings, or whoever has brought you up in a way that, it's over time has been formed, and you have chosen over time to believe and adopt that mindset. I know when we're very young, it's kind of being imposed on you when you can't control that. You don't really have as much say, but as you get older, the things that are around you is what is starting to mold you towards that. And that's what has created these decisions that, that make you feel like you're potentially not enough, or you don't have the right focus in the right space, or you can or can't do something. It's literally what has designed you to be who you are today. It's all of it. And it was all chosen. That's kind of the crazy part is if you can stop and say that, damn, I chose that. Like, I chose that. Yes, there were influences outside of myself that may have led me to there, but you chose to allow, or to believe that, this or that was not achievable, or that wasn't for you, or maybe it was for you. Some sort of influence that impacted you in a negative way that you chose to go after. It's just something that, again, the external had put on you and you decided to believe. So if you can do that in every area, that's massive. And then what that really comes down to is just understanding that, your beliefs, you can change them. Like you get to change them and choose them. Like, you can take even the ones that you have that are kind of not really serving you the best. Like, you get to mold them and change them, and like you can massage them into the right shape through, again, intent and consistency. Like, you can use these old ones to understand that, okay, that over there, that doesn't work. So you never have to worry about that again. So when it comes up, now you see it as that. You see it that it's a thing that doesn't work. Perfect. Great. I don't have to worry about that now, So, and that really is the biggest thing that matters. It really, really is. It's just understanding that you have every choice in the world every single day. You get to, this time on this earth is yours. It's yours. And you get to choose the way you traverse it. Now, don't get me wrong. As a man going through divorce, there were some things that I had chosen in my past that I now have as, constant things to worry about. Like my children, for example. Let's go that route. That's the one I'm specifically talking about, so I'll just say that. So my children are the ones that are consistently there. So as I choose to change my beliefs on the world, money, housing, time, emotions, all that, I have to keep my kids in this process. I have to make sure that they are worked into it, because number one, I have to be functioning at a high level for them. But having said that, they are there and they will always be in the front of my mind. But having said that, that's not like a car. Some people say, well, I got to pay for my car. Well, you know what? No, you don't. You can sell that thing. You can get a cheaper one. You can get a bicycle. You can ride the bus. You can do whatever. I sold mini cars and bought a beater ass old truck. And that's what I did. But I can't do that with my kids. Like, they're there. So I have minimum requirements. So my baseline of where that is, my beliefs have to at least support that. So I will acknowledge that there are certain things that you have to handle and that you have to work into this. And it's not always easy. So I want to say that right out of the gate. So as I'm just saying this stuff, I don't want to discount anybody's, extra stuff that's going on and act as if it's not important, because it is. It's all super important, because it's your life. It's your life. So, that was one thing that I learned early too, was they say, just sell everything and go live with a friend and all that. It's like, well, I've got kids. If I'd like to see them at all, I can't, go live in my friend's basement and have my kids over there all the time. So, like, I get there's restrictions there, but, that's something to function through. But knowing that those beliefs are malleable is a massive, massive thing. And just understanding that they are, and the world is not a fixed situation. Your world is not a fixed situation. It's completely changeable, even within whatever constraints might be seeming like they are holding you down. The other thing too is as you go through this, like we talked about, what do you want to do in your future? What's the goal? What would be the dream outcome? Is, like, how do you get to that? So a lot of people try to say, well, like, what are your strengths? Like, what are you good at? It's like, man, I'm going to tell you what. Again, kind of going back to your whole life, what you were good at was probably due to your surroundings and due to maybe your beliefs towards, something. Maybe it's what you were told you could and couldn't do within your work environment, your family environment, whatever it may be. Like for me, I thought for the longest time here in the Midwest, like it's like, listen, you're either a farmer, a banker, or you work construction. Like, that's it. The end. Now, there's obviously some jobs in between there, but like, that was it, man. Your biggest people, like, oh my God, they make all that money. Those are the three things to do. And guess what? I worked construction. Big surprise. Made great money. But man, like that's it. And so just know that, like, I kind of got off track there a little bit, but just knowing that, you don't have to figure out, okay, what are your strengths? Now let's work towards those. One of the biggest things is figure out what you're not good at. Like if your future goal, like, you truly need to stop and decide, like, what makes you happy and what would drive you towards that. Sometimes that's out of your wheelhouse. Like, a really good example for that for a while was, it's kind of specific. I won't go into all the details, but like, so for me, I really, really enjoy hiking and I love physical activity. Like, love it. Like, fitness is a huge thing for me, but I have blown out my knees, had leg surgeries, tore my hamstring off, like all that. So for the longest time, I didn't do that. I found myself working towards my strengths, and, I would repeatedly have, pull my groin, pull my hamstring, nothing serious, but since I wasn't working them out as hard as I could because I was working towards my strength, this is a very, physical situation, maybe not so mental, but, like, I chose to work towards my strengths, which most people were telling me to do. And what's weird is it starts to blanket everything. And I didn't go hiking as much. And I have, over the last 2 years since, my divorce was starting, I'm hiking. Like, I love it. I love being outdoors. I'm hiking. And man, it was so hard the first few days. And I know that sounds silly because it's just walking in the woods pretty much, or up and down hills. Like I said, here in the Midwest, we got a lot of hills, creeks, ravines. Certain parts of the Midwest, we got some mountains in there. But the thing is at the end of the day, is that, dude, my knees hurt. My legs hurt bad. Like, bad. I loved this thing, but my body was like, dude, what are you doing to us? This is not what you're good at. And I had to tell myself, like, no, man, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm not good at this. How do I get better at it? So daily I focused on leg strength, how to figure out, like, what's going on with my ligaments. Okay, so I had these surgeries. What am I being limited by that I am just accepting from society? Oh, I can't go do this. Oh, I can't go do that. Nah, I'm all right. Let's just figure out how to get around it and how to actually make my life full again. So from there, I literally spent months and months on how to get better at hiking. And, to water it really far down, walking, not on pavement. Like, let's be real. Like, I had to take time to figure that out as a grown ass man. And dude, it sucked. It really sucked for a while because, I'd start hiking with people and they'd be like, are you serious? You can't do this? Because they just looked at me and they would physically think that I was, able. And I wasn't, because I worked on my strengths. I didn't work on my weaknesses. I mean, now, flash forward, obviously there's a lot more to talk about here, but flash forward, now I go on a ruck every single day. Every single day I get up, I ruck for 1 mile. I put on 60 pounds of weight, 20 to 25% of my body weight, put it on, and I go for my hike, go for my walk. So, I mean, like that's it, but I love it. But I had to work on it. It didn't just happen. So, like, figure out what you want to do, whether it's inside or outside your wheelhouse. Don't fall to the despair of what normal people say and say, well, figure out what your strengths are. Like, work towards your strengths. Some people say that, and it's not that it's totally wrong. It's just understand to, like, be the best human. Don't fall prey to that. Like, understand working on your weaknesses and getting better in those areas are how you really, really start to, come to life and, like, start to feel powerful. So, in these early stages, just think about what you love, whether it's something you're good at or not. And you know what? Like I said before, sometimes you find out you may not even like it. Who knows? But just don't let your weaknesses stop you from that. It's how you get better at anything, right? It's how any practice, any major athlete, just take the time to do the hard stuff, okay? Push beyond your limits. Like, all your growth is just past those limits. It's that comfort zone, man. I'm sure we all know what the comfort zone feels like. I'm sure we felt it in our marriage at times. We fell in the rut, all that crap. It's pushing past that, pushing past your limits, testing them, living right on the edge of those limits, and making sure that you're just bumping up against them. Because if you're just living within them all the time, you're going to sit in complacency. You will end this life in a sense of not being fulfilled because you lived within your limitations. The true growth is just literally getting outside your comfort zone. Push up against the walls of your limits. It's amazing what you can achieve and the satisfaction you get from, the accomplishment of even some of the smallest, stupidest things that you think, man, there's no way I ever thought that was even possible for. And you're doing it. Like, you're in the middle of doing it, which is some of the most exciting parts. Is just the fact that you're doing it is super cool. But kind of next on the list here is just, really, really great there. Just like finishing that last sentence with "you're doing it" is, that's just it. Like, you don't get to feel that unless you're taking the action. You know what I mean? Like, once you've decided any of this stuff, once you've decided these mindset beliefs or this new structure that you're building around yourself, and you're starting to understand that you are malleable and you can grow and your mind's not trapped anymore, and it can actually change. Like, when you start pushing up against those limits constantly, daily, that can only happen if you take action, though. Like, you just do it. And it's going to be the dumb small things at first. This is kind of embarrassing to say, to be honest, but in the early days of the divorce, like, I didn't even want to brush my teeth. Like, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to get dressed. I didn't want to, take care of what little hair I have left. I didn't want to do any of that. Like, I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to, kind of fade into nothing. To be honest, that's a whole nother story for another day, though. But I just didn't want to do the normal stuff, the personal hygiene stuff, which is, again, it's embarrassing to say, but it feels pathetic to say it. But I started that small. And it was like, no, I get to, I'm doing this because, at the time, as, again, pathetic as it feels to say, is I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to brush my teeth in the morning or at night or both or in the middle of the day or whatever it was. I was just like, oh my God, everything's a chore. What's the point? And then I just had to get out of it, dude. I had to say, what am I doing? This is pathetic. I'm just ruining myself at this point. This is nobody else to blame but me, especially this. There's nobody here telling me I can or can't, will or won't, except for me. That's it. So, that was where it started. And, as that started to be a thing, it kind of, compounded into, okay, well, I do want to look a little better. Let me wear a certain style clothes. Let me get back into my fitness so my clothes fit the right way. And I'm kind of jumping a lot here, obviously. It's not an overnight thing. But, it was just all that. It was just all these things. Let me get my skincare taken care of because I need to feel good about myself. So it was just all these things started happening. And then before you know it, I'm starting to step out into, I really don't like my job. Like, it doesn't fill me. It used to be fun. The economy the way it is, the construction world isn't as fun as it used to be. So people are a lot more high stressed. And so I started learning online stuff. Like, I had no idea how to make a single dollar online. None. But I pushed up against the limits, which were literally, my limits were so tiny because I was a physical laborer, electrician to be exact. And, that was it. That's what I knew. And, again, with that comes, a decent salary and a lot of benefits. But, having said that, I knew that it wasn't fulfilling me. So I had to learn new skills, and I had to learn how to do these certain things for certain people, and lose a lot of money along the way too, because take other small jobs that didn't pay as much. And I guess that's what I mean by lose a lot of money. But also kind of going back, I wasn't stuck in my mindset anymore. I wasn't a slave to the high house payment. I wasn't a slave to the massive amount of auto loans. I wasn't a slave to the grocery store. Like, oh man, that looks good and that looks good and all these snacks look good. Dude, screw all that. I just wasn't a slave to all of it. So I was able to kind of restructure, but that was my action taking kind of, coming back is that was me taking action daily, every single day I got up, chose my mindset. Okay. You know what? I'm doing this. I can change my life every single day. I'm not going to let society mold me anymore. I'm creating for me. And it was just every single decision. I went to the grocery store, everything, my clothes, my everything. So that's the action point. Again, all that's kind of a story for another day, but it's just that taking action is that next step. Like, you got to do today what you can for tomorrow. Like, we want to make sure we're learning every single day, building this mindset the right way for the future. Like, I'm building my mindset today for tomorrow. And I did that in the past for the day after day after day after day after day. And I'm going to do that until it's over. I'm going to try my hardest. And just go for that, because every single day I need to be better than last time. That's just all there is to it. And that's how you grow. So I'm pushing up against those limits every single day in all the areas I feel I need to. So with that same thing, it's understanding that, with this new belief system and the mindset of growth, and it's all malleable, and the world and my surroundings are what I saw as the options, and then I chose those options. I allowed that. But by getting out of that mindset and taking action daily, I need to understand that, there's always a way to get to my future. And I guess what I'm saying that is my future, or, my now this can be distant future. This can be, a couple years from now. This can be a couple months. This can be next week. This can be tomorrow. But my future is, I got to understand that it's out there. That future is out there, and I can get what I want. Like, I can do it. It may not happen tomorrow. Like, my future that's 10 years down the road, it may not be there tomorrow. It could be, but it may not be. Probably won't be. But I need to make sure I'm taking steps to get there, and on a long enough time horizon. Like, if I could stretch out my lifetime, which I understand it's finite. It's not forever. But if I can stretch it out to forever, like, I could literally get good at anything. I can get extremely, extremely good at anything I want. Anything. But I just got to have the time horizon there, like the distance, the runway. It's got to be there. And sometimes it's hard to remember that you need to take action every day because it is finite. So, that's a big part of this, is shooting for my future every single day, working towards what do I want to do? How do I want to be? Who do I want to be? And, like, how do I want to help fellow humans? How do I want to help my children? How do I want to help my family? Who do I want to be? And taking daily steps to be that human, to be able to be that human later and look back at me today and say, I'm glad you did that today. I'm glad you did that today. That day, today, me at 80, I'm glad I made that decision. Like, that's what I need to make sure I'm doing daily. But that's just it. It's just knowing that everything that is out there, it's out there. You can get it. If you want it, you can get it. You just got to take action. You like believing that you can do it and you can get it is it's a huge part of it. You have to believe it, because if you don't believe you can do it, then it's not going to happen. It's absolutely not going to happen. It's, and with that, again, that goes towards your future, just knowing that your future is out there because you believe you can do it. But to kind of put this all to an end here before this video gets going too long, is your future is just that. It's your future. It's not anybody else's. Yeah, there's a lot of influences. There's a ton of influencers. A lot of them are garbage. A lot of them have their own agenda. Just make sure that as you're looking at some of these people and watching them and hearing their advice or whatever it is they're doing, just make sure you keep it within perspective of yourself. And I mean that by, like, your journey is your journey. You should never aspire to be the next, somebody. You should aspire to be the best you that you can be. And not only that you can be, but the one that you want to be. The one that you want to be in the future. The best you want to be, because you've made the decisions around your mindset. You've made the decisions to, be the better human and to not let the world mold you to their likings. Again, whether that be society, whether it be family, whether it be anybody, just don't let them tell you what you can and can't do. They have the locked in mindset. They can't grow. So that's just kind of what it is. And just, again, knowing that, you're enough. Like you are enough today. Every single day, who you are is enough to be great. Because anybody that's great was, like, 99.9% of them were just an average human. They were just themselves. They didn't start as who they are now. Everyone likes to look at the end result and forget about, the path, the beginning, the path. Like that, those are the two biggest parts. Like, look at that first and understand the abilities. And again, just knowing that your beliefs can change. Your life has built them to be what they are now. So that should show you, without a shadow of a doubt, that you can build them from today moving forward. Every day. Because the whole world and everything you chose to let happen to you is something that you can now say, God dang, I can work this towards my future now, instead of just letting the world work me towards a decided future. You decide. You work yourself towards that future. And then, from there, just, again, work on what's hard. When you've made the decision to work on something, even if it's not in your wheelhouse, work on it. Push up against those limits. Get better. Expand. Grow. Bring more knowledge in. Bring more people in. Get better at the things that you suck at. No matter what. If it's hard, good. Go after it more. The accomplishment's higher. And just knowing that the possibilities of your future open up. Knowing that you're not locked in. You're not good at this yet. It's understanding that, again, on a long enough time horizon, you can get great at anything. Just knowing that today I'm not great at it. I'm going to be. I will be. I'm just not yet. And just understanding that when you make that kind of a statement, that I'm not good at this, and then adding yet, or I will be good at this later, like, those are the statements that allow your mind to say, okay, cool. So we're working towards a thing. But when you put a hard line on it of I suck at this, honestly, man, your brain and your body starts to go, okay, well, we suck at this. It doesn't allow you to grow as much as you can. So just making sure that the future, you're focused on the future. You're working towards the future. And just know that the future's not today. It's tomorrow. And tomorrow, guess what? The future's the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. So you don't ever just land there. It's always yet. I'm working to be my best, and I'm just not there yet. And kind of what I was saying there at the end is focus on you. Like, that's where I'm going to end this, is focusing on you. That was kind of a quick recap. I guess I didn't say numbers or anything, but just watch this over again. And you focus on you. Like, don't try to be the next popular name, Elon Musk. I mean, that's a massive goal. That's a little shooting a little too high. But just, you don't have to be the best at anything. Whether anybody you follow on social media, if you think, oh man, he must have the best life in the world, I guarantee you're missing all kinds of facts. You should never want to be them. You should aspire to be the best you can be, maybe with influences of all these amazing humans. I know I've taken influence from a lot of people, a lot of amazing men in this space that have messages that I resonate with, that have helped me, oh my goodness, come out of this divorce amazingly well. And with mindset and, geez, kind of flash forwarding a little bit here, a little future pacing is, the mindset side of what I want to build here, and with the physical side of what I want to build here, and, let everybody know, like, the fitness side and the diet side, like how easy it actually is. And then also the money side, the financial side. Like I can't wait to get all this information out. So I'm trying to, again, structure it, but it's so simple. Now, I'm not talking about being, Mr. Olympia body style. Like, it's not going to take you to that. It's also not going to make you Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or whoever the richest man in the world is at this point. It's not going to do that. It's just allowing you to live your life in a much simpler way. Allowing you to live your life, not somebody else's. So that's kind of where I'm going to end it here. That's like the beliefs. That's what you have to have, radiating from you to say, daily, I choose to believe this because it's what will allow me to get to future me, to be the best me I can be for me. And again, subsequently to your family, to your kids, to whoever that may be, future-wise, whatever you see happening. But it all starts with you, and it starts with that mindset. And understand that these are the important steps. So I hope everything is pretty jumbled right now. I'll probably have to come back and redo these videos later in life. Hopefully I have better bullet points, but I really do want to get this out so people can have help, because I know I had none and I couldn't find any resources. And, shoot me some messages as you see this too, if you have questions or anything. So, all right, man, I appreciate you. And I hope that all this helps, somebody. I hope this helped anybody. I'm mainly making this for me, for the next me sitting there at home wondering where the hell is the help that can help me make these steps, make this manageable day to day. So thank you, men. And till next time, see you guys.